Hello, my name is Josh Epstein. I'm the marketing specialist of the TDA Perks program. I'd like to welcome you today to the member interview segment of our virtual New Office Symposium. Today, we're talking with Dr. Lindsey Wendt and Dr. Katie Stuchlik. Together, they opened their practice, the Dentistry of Oaks in Houston, in October of 2018. So after the interview, we're going to do a quick tour of their practice. But we really appreciate you being here with us today and being able to talk to members. So thanks again. So let's start with discussing your practice's development from the idea to the opening.
Awesome, thank you. So we decided to open a practice because we were both working as associateships and just got to a point where we realized if we bought into those practices, not a whole lot was going to change. And so we wanted to kind of be our own bosses and do our own thing. And we really love the community that we live in, and we thought that there was a need for more of a private practice and rather than a corporate office in our area. So we decided that we wanted to open something up and, in an area that we lived in and kind of be the neighborhood dentist.
Yeah, so we decided, that we wanted to go in together and started that process. It seems like so long ago, but, started looking for spaces and, kind of getting the ball rolling on what exactly we would need to get started, how to start an actual business, incorporate everything like that, and just got everything started. Like I said, over almost 2 years ago now. So it's a long process to get going, but that's where we started. And we just decided that, like she said, wanted to be close to our neighborhood. So we kind of had a radius that we wanted to look within, close to our homes, that where we could be within our neighborhood and treat everybody in our neighborhood.
We started by looking for the location. That was where we started. We worked with Excite Realty with Patrick and Drew. And they, first meeting, both of us had a separate meeting with them, and this was one of the very first properties that they showed us. And at the time, we weren't really sure about, if it would work out, because this was expected to open a lot sooner than kind of our timeline with our contracts at our other offices. And so we weren't really sure if this was the right thing for us. Turns out this particular space took a little bit longer for them to build, so it ended up working out in the end. But our initial step was going through that LOI process with Excite and the lease process. We had to get a lawyer to work on that with and to kind of help us through that. And as we were working on the lease is kind of when we reached out to some of our other vendors. Mainly went straight to equipment because that was where the bulk of our budget was going to be. So we worked with Simon Walder at the time. He was at Henry Schein, and he actually helped us develop our very first budget. And it changed a lot from there, but he gave us a range of, if you want high-end stuff, this is kind of the higher end of your budget. If you want, just the bare minimum, this is that end, and we kind of picked and choose from there.
Then we kind of took that, and then we also obviously had to get a loan. So that was a complicated process, especially because we're not necessarily a straightforward, set in stone, like one person opening a practice, single doctor kind of situation. So we had to work with multiple banks, once we kind of had what we thought was a budget, okay, this is how much we need to get. We had to get with a lot of banks and a lot of lenders and talk with them and work with them and see, obviously you don't really have a ton of leverage as a startup. And so, it made it kind of difficult because you don't have anything that you can, prove, any money, anything to back that up. And so luckily Bank of America has a startup program for startups, and they just kind of go out on a limb with you. Obviously there's lots of requirements there, but we ended up getting our loan through them.
And once we were able to get the loan, we kind of went back to our equipment and figured out exactly what we wanted. But at the same time, we were working with a contractor to really help design the space. And they did a really good job of helping us squeeze in the number of ops that we wanted. At first they said it was not possible, and then we ended up making it work. And now I don't even know what it would be like if we didn't have all the ops that we have and all of the space that we do have. So that was kind of a long process, because you work with the designer first to do the floor plan and all of that. And then there's just so much that goes into it, because you don't realize that during that process, you also need an IT company to tell you where to put plugs and where to put, cables and things like that. So working with all of these people at the same time, and we found a lot of our vendors just from the other vendors. So Excite and HM General Contractors kind of all hooked us up with our IT guy, and kind of vice versa. Everybody really, kind of supported other people, and some of them gave us options, and we did get different quotes from different companies when it came to construction. And we
made it really nice that when they do recommend someone, that they've worked with them before. So it was nice that we had a lot of our companies that had worked with each other before. And so it made communication a little bit easier, because you don't even know what you're getting into necessarily. Mm-hmm. And so them helping you out kind of along the way, because they have done it before, was very, very helpful. So all of our vendors being in good communication was pretty important.
Yeah. And once we had our space delivered, that's kind of where all of those vendors kind of came together to really help build the office. And there were multiple meetings where the IT company, the equipment company, our construction company, were all here together trying to figure out, okay, well, this needs to go here. This needs to be plumbed this way. And these are things that we didn't know. We didn't know how operatories needed to be plumbed, and our equipment guy knew where the chair was going to be. We didn't know where in the op the chair was going to be. And so it was nice to, like she said, have people that have worked together and really know the dental industry and figure out where things go, since we didn't have a clue.
I think construction took 4.5 months.
It was supposed to be 3.
I think it was, I think it was supposed to be 3 was our original plan, and it took about at least 4, maybe a little bit extra there. We thought we were going to be open at the beginning of October, and we ended up, like you said, opening in the middle of October in 2018. So we weren't too terribly far behind.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we thought we were going to open in September.
Yeah.
Buried that memory, but we were able to open in the middle of October and get things going at the end of that year. Once the construction kind of finally got going and picked up.
So I think the best thing, a piece of advice I would give for somebody to kind of help them save time would be to find the team of people that are going to work well together. I think that we got lucky in the sense that I feel like our timeline was not as long as some other people's that I know. And I think it's because we had people that were in good communication with everything to kind of make things go smoothly. We were a little bit, like Lindsay said, behind on our process of when we wanted to open, but some of that wasn't really in anybody's control. It had to do with the landlord or other tenants around us, and we had a lot of issues with that. But kind of getting the whole team together and on the same page is what's going to make your process go a lot easier, quicker, and in the end save money, because you're not paying rent when you're not in the space.
Or scrambling to find vendors. If you can put that team together sooner. I think there was some times where we kind of ran into an issue where we were like, oh, we need a, IT company is a good example.
Yeah.
Not that happened with them, but we need an IT company, and then you have to interview 3 different ones, and you have to get quotes. And if you can kind of build those relationships ahead of time or interview them ahead of time, I think that could save a lot of money in your timeline, so that you're not scrambling and you're not having to settle for just whoever you can come along. I think that would help a lot. And also would save you, like she said, money in the end.
Well, thank you very much. That was really informative. I know it's going to be very valuable for TDA members. We are going to do an office tour. So my name is Josh Epstein. I'm with the TDA Perks program. You can get in touch with us at 512-443-3675. And we're here to help. Thank you again. We really appreciate your time.
So this is our lobby. One of the coolest things that I think is kind of just like the front here. All this detail right here on our front desk, and then our logo wall back there. We really, really like the brick. The outside of the building has a lot of red brick to it. We kind of like the washed brick looks. That's why we wanted to bring it inside. We have this neat little iPad station that we used to keep iPads up, but we don't anymore. We don't really actually have a lot of patients that have to spend a lot of time out here because we try to get them back and stay on our schedule. So we just have a few kind of comfortable things that we picked up from Wayfair. This is our beverage station. We offer Topo Chico and sparkling water and water for all of our patients. They tend to really, really like the Topo Chico. And then coffee, every now and then somebody will take coffee after their sleeping appointment. And so if you come back here, right now, our front desk just has 2 stations. We have one check-in, but eventually we'll have kind of 2 checkout areas here. We have storage in the back there that could eventually turn into an office. Like I said, our logo wall over there. This is our consult room that we can use to present big treatment plans. Right now we use it for our morning huddles. We have a TV in here that we can put either x-rays or different things up there. In the mornings we kind of put the schedule up there and talk to our team about that. We decided to do an x-ray room instead of having units inside each operatory. So we have one wall unit here and a cool little barber chair to take the x-rays. We do FMXs on all of our new patients, and so this is where we take those x-rays. We do have the OP3D cone beam pano combo, so that's pretty cool, helps diagnosing things. So this is our x-ray room. And this is our patient bathroom. Just kind of cool designs in here. And we have 7 ops in our space. We have a total of 2,582 square feet, and we were able to fit 7 ops in there. Right now, Lindsey and I kind of split our time here, 2 days, 2 days, where we're both working, so we're not seeing patients at the same time right now. But eventually, we have that ability to do that. So we have 2 of these operatories built out. Most of our equipment is all ADEC. We really, really liked the equipment that we use in school. We really like the 12 o'clock setup, so that's why we went with that route, and the cabinets. We have a TV on the ceiling where we have headphones that are Bluetooth that patients can watch during their treatment, and then this TV over here is mainly used for x-rays. Super helpful when we're showing patients what they need, or even if I'm doing a root canal and seeing the canals up there on that screen really big, it's extremely helpful to have that. So 2 operatories look exactly like this. They're right here, back to back. There are 2 operatories that are not built out yet. This one has some cool barn doors that could kind of be a quiet off in the future, any type of oral surgery that we might do, that kind of thing. Our sterilization is also all ADEC. We really like the glass that we put here to kind of show patients as they walk by, to be like, hey, we keep things nice and clean here. So it's just kind of keeping our sterilization on display really helps our team members to actually keep things clean in there also. This is our lab and kind of storage area. So we have these chip out bins in here that a lot of people are putting in their offices these days to kind of help keep things organized. It's definitely very helpful for us. We don't have a lot of storage space in our office, so I think if there's one piece of advice I'd give somebody is to try to think about the storage that they might need, so that way they have as much available as possible. We make it work though. We try not to keep as much, too many supplies on hand. We don't want to have an overload of stuff. But we keep all of our lab cases in here, and any kind of, lab work that needs to be done gets done in here. And this is a sliding door too, so it can be closed if it's dirty, which happens a lot during the day. So this is our hygiene side over here. This is one of our hygiene rooms. It's the only one that we have built out right now, but we are in the process of getting a second one. It will look exactly identical to this. The chair is a little bit different. It's an ADEC 400 series chair. but we have the same kind of 12 o'clock delivery system, same TV on the ceiling and over here. So we do still have some patients that will watch TV and watch Netflix during their cleaning appointments. And this is a piece of equipment that we didn't get when we started up, but as soon as we were able to get it, and felt comfortable spending the money on it, we got it, and it has been extremely helpful for us, and I don't know what we would do without it at this point. And these two empty ops will be our other hygiene ops, and eventually we'll have artwork on this empty wall. And back here is our break room, staff lounge. It's not entirely too large, so it'll probably get tight once we get a little full, but it works for now. There's a TV that we can use for our staff meetings also, refrigerator and microwave. I think one thing that when we were going through the construction process, like, we didn't realize that they kind of picked out the size of refrigerator that we would need based on what they designed, and same thing with the microwave. So after the fact, we had to keep asking them, like, what size microwave do we need? What size fridge do we need? Our mechanical room is back here, and our nitrous is back behind that. So yeah, we're still kind of learning all the inner workings of all of that. And then this is a staff bathroom in here that we accidentally got the good floor on because they did it wrong. And then this is our office right now. We only have one computer in here because, like you said, we're not here as, at the same time that frequently yet. So this is kind of where we do our notes and hide out if we need to, away from the operatories. So that is our practice. We hope you enjoyed the tour, and if you would like any more information, any help, we're always willing to answer any questions about our process and help you out with your process. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the information today and for letting us tour your office with you. Really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get in touch with the TDA Perks program at 512-443-3675. Thanks a lot for joining us. Take care.